Hello, this is BlueStar, Defender of Equestria, and this is my next Comrac video, commentary/reaction video. I don't know if the word will make it or not, but I like that Comrac. But anyway, this is my next commentary/reaction video. A Canterlot wedding, part 2. Twilight has been vaporized by Cadence. Oh no. Oh dear. That was most unfortunate. But fortunately, we're going to learn pretty quickly that that's not what happened, but fortunately. So anyway, that's the next part of this. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed because I had something kind of really cool planned for this, but let's just say having some technical issues with that, and I think I'm going to make a separate video doing that later. Because I don't want that to hold this up. I want to do this one because it's one of my favorite episodes of all time, and also so I can go on and do the other videos, Comracs that I intend to do. So anyway, this is a really good episode of mine because, again, as I mentioned before, that Blue Star basically came about because of these 2 episodes, and this is cool. I mean, this is certainly something very unexpected. All I'm going to say is there's going to be some very unexpected things in this one for My Little Pony. But anyway, so let's stop talking about it and let's start watching it. So anyway, so here we go. All right. All right, start it. Okay. Alright, starting video in 3, 2, 1, 0. Starting. Oops, I played the wrong one. Stop that. Alright. Previously on My Little Pony.
Princess Celestia cordially invites you to the wedding of Princess Mi Amore Cadenza and my brother.
Twilight!
How dare you not tell me in person that you were getting married?
A threat has been made
dear,
against
she's not
Canterlot.
happy.
Princess Celestia asked that I help provide additional protection.
Oh dear.
But I'm still pretty ticky.
He has the power.
I don't even know.
Princess Mi Amore
Ouch.
Cadenza is Cadence.
Cadence is only the most amazing pony ever.
I hope I'm
Aw,
not
well, that's good.
interrupting anything important.
Cadence, it's me, Twilight.
Aha.
It's like, who? Oh, poor Twilight.
And I think I should
So-
wear it.
Are you disagreeing with me?
No! Go on, fight, Shadowcarper, fight!
I saw her put a spell on my brother that made his eyes go all.
Cadence hasn't been casting spells on me. She's been using her magic to heal me. If I were
Oh
you,
dear.
I wouldn't show up to the wedding at all.
I just
Oh.
lost a brother.
Poor Twilight.
You will be.
He's been vaporized. Oh no! Oh no, it's the opening! I actually really like the opening. I wish I could use it, but oh well. Oh dear.
Hello?
Poor Twilight. It's like, oh, is anybody out there?
anyone there?
Poor- Again, by the all-powerful Megan McCarthy! Oh, ouch. Oh no, maniacal laughter.
Where am I?
I don't know.
Beneath Canterlot, once home to greedy unicorns who wanted to claim the gems that could be found inside.
That's a lot of evil Cadence. Ooh.
Prison.
Help! Help!
Oh no.
It's no use. No one can hear you, and no one will ever think to look for you either.
Oh dear. I was just thinking, this proves rule number 6, unwritten rule. It's like,
Which is
she
why
should just
they're
kill
the
her,
ideal place
but
to keep the ones who try to interfere with my plans.
she just throws him in prison. So, just kidding.
What plans?
What plans? Oh no.
The plans I have for your brother, of course.
Don't
Oh,
you dare
no.
do anything
Ooh.
to my brother, you monster!
She's about to go
Only
fusion
way
run.
to stop me is to catch me.
Ugh.
Over here.
Duck!
Nope. Over
Ooh.
here.
She's everywhere. Ooh. Nice shot. Oh, there she is. Get her! Get her! Wait. No! Wait.
Twilight, it's me.
Hmm.
Please, you have to believe me. I've been imprisoned like you. The Cadence
She's
who
been
brought
pretty
you down
beaten
here
up,
was
so.
an imposter.
Ugh.
Likely story.
Sunshine,
dear.
sunshine.
She's not convinced.
Ladybugs awake. Clap your hooves and do a little shake.
Please, see? Really, it is me, Twilight. Really?
Of course
Aww.
I do. How could I forget the filly I love to sit for the most?
Aww. That was nice. This is all very touching, but unfortunately we still have evil villainess to defeat, so...
Get out of here.
right.
We have to stop her.
Where is she? Yet another great song. Oh dear.
This day is going to be perfect. The kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small.
I gotta assume perfect for you is bad for us.
I look lovely in my gown. What they don't know is that I have fooled them all.
Wow.
This day was going to be perfect. The kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. But instead of having cake with all my friends,
You know it's a little kid show when having cake is so important. That's okay. Aww. I must admit, I don't know the name of this voice actress, but she's really good. I mean, she's able to sing evil and good in the same song. That's cool. Good for her. That's cool.
That through any kind of weather, I want us to be together.
Again, the animations here, it's like, there's such expressiveness, it's awesome. Ooh, she just vaporized that hat. Ooh. Bummer. Ooh. The dark side is definitely strong in her.
Must escape before it's too late. Find a way to save the day. Hope I'll be lying if
It's
I
like, where do we go? Where do we go?
I don't fear that I may lose him to one who wants
Where
to
do we
use
go?
him, but not
Poor
care for
Twilight.
love and cherish him each day.
Oh, I love this moment. Watch this moment carefully.
Oh,
she's crying. Way to go, Twilight. I love that. That was so cool. Did you see Twilight's expression going from, like, surprise to, like... That's so awesome. I want to comment on that later. That's cool. Oh my gosh, we're gonna die! Oh, she has wings and she can fly. Cool.
Finally, the moment has arrived for me to be one lucky bride. Oh, the wedding we won't make, he'll end up marrying nothing shining on there.
Sorry.
Mine.
Oh, dear.
Mine.
Does nobody notice that Shining Armor's eyes are green and he's like...
And gentle colts. We are gathered here today.
Somebody noticed that.
Of Princess Miyamura Cadenza.
We're going down, men! Of course,
never going to
always
save him.
imprison your enemies
We
directly
will.
below
We
you.
just have to find There!
Oh look, it's the way out. How convenient.
You're not going anywhere.
Oh no! Ah, creepy bridesmaids! We're doomed!
Princess Cadence.
I didn't notice. Were
and
the
Shining
Royal Guard
Armor.
there? I don't think they
It is
were.
my great pleasure to pronounce you.
Yeah, Shining Armor's mess. Where did you come from?
Ugh, why does she have to be so
Why did
possessive
Spike
of
look
her
so unhappy to see Twilight?
Why does she have to ruin my special day?
Breaking character.
Because it's not your special day. It's mine.
Yay!
What? But how did you
What?
defeat my bridesmaids?
Let's see, 3 bridesmaids versus Twilight and an Alicorn. I think you could take them. Come on, you can take them, but... Wait. Oh.
I want it!
And they just jumped to their doom.
Clever.
No, I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they're fine. But
I
still,
don't
it's like,
understand.
that was very
How can
clever.
there be
That was
two
very
of
clever.
them?
See?
She's
You don't need to
a
have violence for everything.
She takes the form of some pony you love and gains
changeling,
power
eh?
by feeding off your love for them.
Ooh, she's mad. Blew my cover, so I'm just gonna... Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. She has no eyes. Oh, yes she does.
Right you are, princess. And as queen of the changelings, it is up to me to find food for my subjects. Equestria has more love than any place I've ever encountered. My fellow
True.
changelings will be able to devour so much of it that we will gain more power than we have ever dreamed
Pull back,
of.
pull back. Oh
Never
my
get
gosh.
the chance. Shining Armor's protection spell will keep them from ever even reaching us.
Yes!
Oh, I doubt that. Isn't that right, dear?
Uh-oh. Bummer. Get her!
Don't want to go back to the caves now, do you?
Come on,
Ever
Cadence.
since I took your place, I've been feeding off Shining Armor's love for you. Every moment he grows weaker, and so does his spell. Even
Bummer.
now, my minions are chipping away at it.
Oh dear. What do you do, Gerard? Why don't you help
He may
him?
not be my husband, but he is under my total control now. And
I have to agree, Ratchet. What does that
unable
mean?
to perform his duties as captain of the Royal Guard.
Not my
Bummer.
shining armor!
Not my shining
Changeling
armor.
army will break through.
I'm gonna comment on that
Canterlot, and
Captain of the
then
Royal Guard thing
all
later.
of Equestria.
No,
I don't think so.
you won't.
Yes, Celestia.
You may have made it impossible for Shining Armor to perform his spell, but now that you have so foolishly revealed your true self,
Come on.
I can protect my subjects from you!
Yes! Get her! Get her, Celestia! Get her! Yes! 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 What? Celestia? We're all doomed!
Shining Armor's love for you is even stronger than I thought. Consuming it has made me even more powerful than Celestia!
The elements of
That
harmony.
would be bad.
You must get to them and use their power to defeat the Queen.
Yes, ma'am, Lieutenant, ma'am! Yeah! Bring weapons and ammo, we're going in, team!
You can run, but you can't
Where are the Royal Guard? Where have you gone when we needed you? Yes, I think I'll comment on this now. It's like, oh my god. Oh, they're breaking through the shield! I think the Royal Guard are like in their barracks or something because they're not smart enough to do anything without Shining Armor telling them what to do. Incoming! Run for your lives! Ow. That looks like that hurts. They have lousy aim. You just crushed that guy's skull. Oh dear. That's a lot of them.
Looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way.
What the? Something odd about that person. He looks obvious. Oh. She just got beat up by herself. Bummer. Oh dear. That's a lot. That was a lot of rainbow dashes. They're multiplying.
Changelings, remember? They're changelings, remember?
That's a lot of Twilights. What a
We
terrifying
have to get to
thought.
the elements of harmony.
No,
They're
just
our
kidding.
only hope.
Come on, we can take them. Go main 6. Don't go main other main 6. Oh dear. Ow. Ow. Oh, poor Fluttershy. She's like, what do I do? Come on, let's get her. Let's get her. Wait. What are you? Really? Really? Way to go, Fluttershy. That was really clever. Oh no. I'm gonna have to say that that's the real Rainbow Dash. Either that or she's a traitor.
Okay.
Bummer.
This is getting weird.
Wow. Oh, we're doomed. Remember, Twilight only sets her phaser to stun. Ow! She got the cameraman.
Reel me!
Don't unreel me! Don't please don't. I like how there's all this massive fighting in the back, but yet they're only fighting like 6 people.
I've seen better.
Twilight Gatling Cannon! Fly! Away, changelings, away! Like that one guy, he's just like... They beat me! Uh-oh. Incoming! Run! Yay! No! Where did they come from? Captain, we're surrounded! What do we do? We cut to commercial! Oh dear. Celestia. Oh dear. Celestia.
Won't get away
Poor
with
Celestia,
this.
upside down in the
Twilight and her
cocoon.
friends will-
I bet you she's definitely depressed at this moment. And
You were saying?
bummer.
You do realize the reception's been cancelled, don't you? Go!
Who, me?
Feed!
Oh, okay.
It's funny,
dear.
really. Twilight here was suspicious of my behavior all along.
It's like, get off of
You were
me.
too caught up in your wedding planning to realize
poor
the
Celestia.
suspicions were correct.
Sorry, Twa.
dear.
We should have listened to you.
It's not your fault.
Yes, you should
She
have.
fooled every pony.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, she did. Mm. I'm not in the mood for another song. I'm too depressed.
Been just perfect. The kind of day of which I've dreamed since I was small.
Everyone for themselves.
Every stallion, mare, and foal.
Come on, Royal Guard.
Girl that really have it all.
I guess it's game over. We're doomed. Just sneak over
Go
Twilight.
to him while you still have the chance.
How come Cadence can't do that? Aw. Poor Shining Armor. Aw, she's crying. Aw. Powering up. Aw. I mean, it's we don't really get to see their relationship, but obviously it's obvious that they love and care for each other a great deal. But that's
Huh? Is the
That's
wedding
cool.
over?
fortunately no.
It's all over.
Your spell. Perform your
don't-
spell.
I don't think so.
What good would that do? My changelings already roam free.
Oh, come on, you can do it. You can do it, Shining Armor. Oh,
My power is
Come on.
useless now. I don't have the strength to repel them.
My love will give you strength.
Aw.
What a lovely but absolutely ridiculous sentiment.
Oh dear, I hear explosions in the. I hear explosions, sir. Aw. It's kind of cliche, this, but it's in a way very true. That's very cool. Wow. Never realized how good the sound was. You really gotta listen with like these really decent pair of headphones. Wow, there's some neat sound effects in that. Oh no! Oops, maybe I shouldn't have just ignored them. Come on, unleash the awesome power of love. Yes! Uh-oh. Be gone! Yay! I like the guy, he's just like, everything's good, rock on. Yes! Be gone, you! Bye! Ah! We're flying away. Aww. Yes!
Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Oh, that's
We'll have
nice.
a real wedding to put together.
I don't know. You might want to fix the holes in the street, the people with post-traumatic stress syndrome, figure out what happened to the Royal Guard. I guess the ponies are stronger than that. Like one guy is just like, you know, just like everything's fine after that. Oh dear, oh dear. I wonder who those three mares are. I mean, stallions. It's like, I have to fix it. Oh, it's mommy and daddy. Isn't that nice? Ooh. Yes, the Royal Guard. Ah, look, it's Derpy.
Seriously, though. I get why the Queen of the Changelings wanted to be with you, but how did you get someone as amazing as Cadence to marry you?
I told her she wouldn't just be gaining a husband, she'd be getting a pretty great sister, too.
Aww. Ouch, Twilight. That kind of hurt, to be honest, but okay, no, I think he took that the right way, though. Oh, Rarity's crying. You're not supposed to wear a hat in church. Or whatever. But we'll let that go.
Mares and gentle colts, We are gathered here today to celebrate the union
That line never
of the
gets old, I
real
guess.
Princess Mi Amore Cadenza.
Princess Cadence is fine.
The union of Princess
Thank you.
Cadence and Shining Armor. The strength of their commitment is clear. The power of their love undeniable. May
Yes,
we
I
have
think
the
so.
witnesses?
Which is good.
I now pronounce you Mayor and Court.
Yay! Yay! Yes! Yes, hello everyone, yes!
This is your victory as much as theirs. You persisted in the face of doubt, and your actions led to your being able to bring the real Princess Cadence back to us. Learning to trust your instincts is a valuable lesson to learn.
This is a little bit of a depressing lesson, but at the same time true, but...
Rainbow Dash, that's your cue.
She went so fast she flew out of her clothes. Oh. There she goes. Except for the foreign invasion part, but oh well. Oh dear.
Hello,
Aww.
every pony. Did I miss anything?
Yes? Where have you been? We've been under attack all this time. We could have used your help, even though it probably would have meant nothing anyway, but oh whatever. Everyone shut up and dance! Brody, yes, I just stood up and Brody Curious. It's like this. Ooh. Yeah. Must be hard playing a fiddle with no fingers. Yep. I just noticed that as part of the royal guard. Oh,
None
never
of
mind.
this would have been possible without you, little sis. Love you, Twilight.
Aw,
Love you too,
Twilight.
baby.
Only Shining Armor can call her Twilight. Aw, that's nice.
Ready to
Like
go?
I just noticed the royal guard are pulling their carriage, so that's part of their job to pull their carriages and stuff like that. Whatever. Oh, look, see, they didn't die. Yeah. So don't worry, kiddies. They didn't jump to their doom. They're right here. That's good. Of course,
Now
horseshoes.
this was a great wedding.
Oh,
Yeah, it was pretty
Just wait
good.
until you see what I have planned for the bachelor party.
That was definitely the worst part of this episode. No, that just doesn't work. Sorry, that's bad. Aw. Fire! Yay! Ooh, they changed the music for the closing. Oh well. So ends A Canterlot Wedding Part 2. We have our first married couple, with the exception of Mr. and Mrs. K. We have see our first wedding, and we got to survive a foreign invasion. Yes. Oh, as always, thank you to you wonderful people for working so hard on this crazy show. And thank you, Hasbro, for commissioning it in the first place. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, yeah. There was a lot. This is one of my favorite episodes because, again, we had a foreign invasion! Canterlot was under attack! Stand firm, my brothers! We will not lose this hill! I mean, that's, in a way, part of me would have liked to have seen that happen, is like have the Royal Guard actually be fighting instead of being tied up. I think I must admit I commented a lot about this in my Royal Guard video, but I think I'm going to add part of the reason why I think the Royal Guard are nowhere to be found in the second episode of this is that I guess they can't, they're sitting in their barracks or something somewhere, and they don't know what the heck to go do with themselves without Shining Armor telling them what to do, which you can see in part of the first episode of this, is that Shining Armor is directing people, okay, go over there, and they're following, and they do it. And so I think that might have been the idea of that Chris was taking over. Shining Armor accomplished two things. It basically kept him from basically maintaining the shield, and it also prevented the Royal Guard from being able to do anything, I guess, was the idea. I mean, whether those two things are kind of believable. But again, if she has control of Shining Armor, why doesn't he just tell him, like, drop the shield? Oh well. I guess it was, I mean, I think it was definitely more dramatic to yeah, definitely watch them beat on the shield and, and try to break through the shield and everything like that. But again, this was a really good episode because it had a lot of really good songs and it was very emotional. I must admit, when I look back on this a couple of times, I think that maybe this might have been a little bit too much for 6-year-olds. I mean, this is a foreign invasion. This is like the nightmare scenario for just about any city or country, is that we've been invaded by a foreign power. Our military, our armies and whatever have basically been defeated, and the enemy is running wild through the streets and doing all these terrible things to all these pony. I mean, we see this poor family, you know, cowering in the alley like, please don't hurt us. I mean, it's, you know, it might have been a little bit much for 6-year-olds, but it's but obviously it worked out okay. They didn't do anything terribly horrible to them, but still, I still liked this idea. And again, this introduced an interesting thing called failure. You know, again, as I said in the last Comrac video of part 1, that, you know, most of the shows that I've watched when I was a kid, none of the characters failed. You know, they didn't, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying I want the Changelings to take over Canterlot and for us to flat out lose. I mean, nobody would want to show that. But really, I mean, you never see the characters fail. You never have them experience, you know, loss of what it feels like to, well, lose. I mean, the main 6 fight off like the first wave, but then the second wave comes and they lose. They're done, you know. And I must admit, I recorded a fairly long kind of audio fanfic thing about this, and I don't think I want to share that with you because that was really emotionally heavy. This was something that was like, you know, poor Blue Star was, you know, in my headcanon, Blue Star's part of this battle, and he, like everybody else, he loses and he gets hurt and he gets injured and he feels really bad because at one point he's like at the foot of the first stairs trying to like fight off the Changelings and keep the Changelings from following after the main 6. And at some point, when the second wave comes, he realizes that the main 6 are about to be captured, and there's nothing he can do about it. And if he doesn't like run away and do something, he's going to get captured too. And at that moment, he's torn. And a part of him wants to stay and fight there and just basically fight until he gets captured, and the other part wants to run away and maybe fight another day. And he runs away and he tries to fight another day. And I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to go too far into that. But you know, but in short, he feels really, really bad about that at the end of this. You know, because he feels like he's let the main 6, Canterlot, Celestia, everybody down. And as I talked about in my Royal Guard video, the Royal Guard probably feel that way too. I mean, I think the Royal Guard are much stronger than that, and that for whatever reason they're not there, or they fail, they probably realize that, you know, we did our best and it wasn't our fault, and so they're not suicidally depressed like Blue Star probably is. But yeah, I mean, that's such a terrible thing. I mean, to be a Royal Guard and to fail like this, to see your you know, to be tied up and be able to do nothing. Like poor Celestia, again, she must be going through a lot. She's defeated. My gosh. I mean, it's not pushed so heavily in the show, I mean, but it's been pushed relatively, you know, to the point that Celestia is this all-powerful person, or she's very powerful, and she loses to this person we've never heard of. And wow, I mean, everybody in the room, see, the thing that's cool about that is that everybody in that room, including Chrysalis, expected Celestia to win. This is why Chrysalis is going like, no, because she's fully expecting to lose to Celestia. Then all of a sudden she realizes, wait a minute, I can beat her. I can actually beat Celestia, and she does. My gosh, I mean, it's another one of those power moments. It's not an emotion. It's not a happy power moment. It's a depressing power moment because it's one of those things of I'm really sad the first time I see it, but at the same time I'm glad it happened because it's a cool moment. It's a sad moment, but it's cool at the same time. I mean, I must admit, everybody expected her to win, and she lost, and she's like, she has to be held by Twilight. My God, because she gets thrown to the floor and slides along it. Oh my gosh, and then she has to be held by Twilight. And it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, that would be terrible. And then later she wakes up and she's suspended upside down in this cocoon thing, and I could only imagine what she could be feeling. I mean, I still think that she's a very strong character, so she's not suicidally depressed. She's probably more afraid for her people than she is herself, because I know what I would probably be thinking. I'd be suicidally depressed at this moment, because I feel like I've let my people down. I fought for them, I lost, and now I'm upside down, suspended in this thing, and there's absolutely nothing I can do for my people as they're being hurt and everything. As this person is hurting my people, and there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, I'm gonna stop on that. I mean, I must admit, there are times I think about this episode a lot about that way, and I know I shouldn't, because that was not the intent. That was not the intent. I mean, the intent, again, I've gone into depth on this a lot, to be honest, so I'm going to try to not repeat what I've said before. But yeah, I mean, that wasn't the point of this. The point of this, I think, obviously was to take this as far as it did, to show this is a very bad, serious situation. But the overwhelming, awesome power of love was able to defeat this changeling army. I mean, just a second. There we go. There we go. Hopefully the screen won't be reflecting in my glasses anymore. But yeah, I mean, Chrysalis is the opposite of love in a way. But in a way, Chrysalis is interesting in that her motivations are, really to serve her people. It's just obviously just in a way that unfortunately hurts our people and Equestria and the ponies and everything. So that obviously makes her an evil character. That she's willing to serve her people by hurting other people. So that makes her hard. I must admit, I think a little bit that she's a little bit of a. I think, again, I definitely want to do a character analysis on her. I think she's a little bit of a coward, because the only times we see her be truly firm and stuff is when she's clearly in a positive position, where she's in a firm position, where she is clearly in charge and in control. When she's fighting, I mean, obviously, I must admit, if I were fighting Celestia, I would be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna lose, oh. But yeah, I mean, so I must admit, I have to give her credit there. But like when she turns and sees Cadence in shining armor being able to like power up and everything, she goes like, oh my gosh, oh. Oh dear. I definitely want to go into that. I mean, she's interesting because she seems to be arrogant and foolish and stupid and stuff, because she keeps letting these people do whatever the heck they want. I mean, she walks off she sends all the guards away and then just walks out to the balcony, not caring that, six of her, like the main six are there, completely unsupervised. They could turn around and run out the door for all she know, and she wouldn't even know anything about it. But still, I mean, because she feels that she's in charge, and in a way she is. In that moment, she was in charge in a moment. But yeah, this was a great episode because it had a lot of these cool moments. And again, I love the moment when in This Day, that was a great song, because again, I must admit, I'm sorry I don't know the name of that voice actress that does Cadence, but she does an awesome job during that song. She sings brilliantly. Or if it's there might be two, because sometimes there's one person who does the voice and there's another person who sings, whatever. But whoever the person is who's singing, she did a very good job. I mean, she went from being good to evil and back again several times during the course of that song, and it's done very well. It's cool. I mean, she did it very well, and she conveys both of these different characters. Everything. She's conveying two different characters during this song, so that's pretty cool. That can be very difficult sometimes, to go from an evil character to a good character, to an evil character to a good character. That can be very difficult sometimes, but she did it very well, and that song communicated so much and so well. I mean, and My Little Pony have figured out something that I think some people have known for a while, and that songs and music can convey a lot of emotion and a lot of things very quickly and very effectively. This is why, I mean, I'm going to just say this briefly, but this is why in Magical Mystery Cure there's so many songs. There's so much going on in that episode, and those songs work great. They tell the story, they promote the story, they support the story, and to a point they are the story. This Day really is the story of that moment of, basically explaining how these characters feel, what they're thinking, what their motivations are, what they're trying to do. Like, obviously, Chrysalis, that's the interesting thing, we don't actually hear Chrysalis's name. I'm going to assume that somehow this got leaked to someone, but whatever. But But whatever. You know, that Chrysalis is clearly an evil. We don't know what her precise motivation is at that point. It's clearly to, like, you know, obviously to mess up, to take over and, you know, to basically take over and, you know, make Shining Armor basically her slave. As I mentioned in my Royal Guard video, that Cadence is really... She really represents that Hollywood, you know, kind of love. You know, like either Hollywood actor or actresses and stuff, where these people get married, but in a way they really don't love each other and stuff like that. Or like in a lot of movies where, you know, people think they really love each other, but they don't. And, you know, you think that they might have their best interests at heart, that these two people might genuinely love each other, but in a way they really don't. And this is and that really is what what Shining, what Chrysalis is. Chrysalis is obviously, she's marrying for power, essentially. She's only marrying Shining Armor because she basically wants to use him as basically a power source in a way to take over. I mean, I think I'm going to make a separate video about how much Cadence has messed everything up. I mean, excuse me, how Chrysalis has messed everything up, about how she keeps being so foolish and dumb and how she keeps messing everything up. But, yeah, I mean, but Chrysalis is an interesting character, and her motivations were cool. I mean, she's definitely, I think, one of my favorite of the villains, because she's clearly, I have come to take over the world! And we can't sap her with the elements of harmony, and we don't have sympathy for her in a way. I mean, it's nice to have a character who's clearly an evil character, who simply just wants to take over the world and stuff like that. But yet, her motivation is really, you know, in a way it is motivated by love, and that she's doing this because she wants to serve her people, essentially. But I have a feeling it's also for her, to make herself more powerful, because she's clearly a very selfish and arrogant character. Yes, and now moving on to Cadence. Cadence and Shining Armor clearly represent true love, because it's never really shown in any, like, with lines. It's sort of shown visually, like when, you know, the interesting thing during this day is that when Cadence is singing about Shining Armor, she doesn't talk about herself. It's not about her. It's about, I want to go and save Shining Armor because I don't want him to get hurt. It's not about what I want. I mean, I don't want... it is and it isn't. I mean, that's the thing with love. It's not just about how it's primarily not about how you feel. It's about you caring and loving about this other person, and that's why she's true love, and Chrysalis is the Hollywood love. She's that, you know, Hollywood love is frankly completely emotional and ultimately does not stand. You know, teenage love, they're more like the teenage love. It doesn't stand, because this is just pure emotion. There's no genuine love there. And again, I'm going to not go too much in depth in this, because this video is going to be this is running long, and I must admit, I have a lot to say about this episode, because I like this episode a lot, and so I think I'm going to let this run a little bit longer than I usually would. So yeah, and especially since I spent so much time about basically how depressing sometimes I interpret this episode, which again, it was never meant to be. It was never meant to be. I think this was simply meant to be, you know, but again, I liked the idea of having failure, of simply having the Royal Guard and the main six fight, but lose. And, you know, because in the real world, that happens an awful lot. You know, we can't win all the time. You know, even Master Chief and characters like that can't win all the time. You gotta lose sometime. And it sounds stupid, but when, you know, unfortunately, when I was a kid, I honestly didn't believe that. I actually thought that you were going to win all the time. It sounds stupid, but when you're a little kid and you watch shows all like this all the time, and they always win, they never lose, you know, they never get beaten by anybody, it's easy to think that way, and it's easy to fall into that trap, and I feel very foolish for falling into that trap. And as an adult now, I realize that was very foolish, but that's the thing. I'm an adult, and little kids are not. So it was good to have an episode where, you know, the main six lose. They fight and they lose. But they are not incapable of fighting. They actually do defeat the first wave. They just can't fight. They can't fight the entire Changeling army by themselves. I think they did very good. They were outnumbered several times over, but they fought these Changelings very good. And I must admit, Twilight Gatling gun! Yes! That's cool. I must admit, though, when I took a few screenshots, Twilight doesn't look happy. She looks very pained. She doesn't look happy. Well, I guess I guess whatever. I guess it's not because it's not like I'm like, oh, stop it, Pinkie Pie, that hurts so much. It's just because I guess she's casting spells really quickly and stuff like that. I guess it's okay. But yeah, I mean, there were some great moments here, but again, one moment I really want to talk about is, you know, that moment in this day where Twilight, where Cadence is breaking down. It's like she on the cart while she's trying to move it and everything, and she's crying. Twilight looks at her, and so much is going on in those few seconds, and so much commotion is being conveyed, and so much is happening. She goes from being surprised that Cadence, this is the first time that, this is obviously, she's just met the real Cadence and everything, and she realizes that, wow, Cadence really loves my brother, because this isn't about her, this is about her trying to save Shining Armor, because she loves him. Not because simply because she wants for him to be her husband. That's probably a lot of it. She doesn't, but she loves Shining Armor, and I want to make that distinction. That, you know, I'm going to say one line from another show that was written for younger people, Digimon. When you care more about someone else than you care about yourself, it's called love. And I can tell you, I've seen a lot of Hollywood movies and a lot of stuff, but that one line, that nails what love really is, what it's supposed to be about. And that's it. I mean, she cares about Shining Armor, and Twilight realizes this for the first time, that Cadence cares about Shining Armor, and in a sense that she is worthy to marry her brother, which obviously we saw in the first episode really troubled her and made her feel anxious. I mean, obviously this is the evil, this is Chrysalis, this is the evil Cadence, if you will. So yeah, so she didn't want her to marry Shining Armor, but, you know, that she's seen that Cadence genuinely cares about Shining Armor, and in that moment she goes from being surprised to accepting that she's going to marry her brother, and she's probably happy about that, and then goes from that to wanting to help her, and then helps her. And you might find that strange. Well, obviously she wants to help Cadence, but she genuinely, truly believes that she wants to help her. And you might think that maybe I'm making too big of a deal about this, but I mean, that's how I felt when I first saw that moment, and it's all done through the amazing work of the animators. The animators did an amazing job of conveying those emotions in those few seconds while this song is playing in the background. There's no dialogue, there's no lines, there's nothing. In fact, the only dialogue is coming from another character, but all of that is conveyed in those few seconds from her expressions on her face and everything, and they did an awesome job, and I think that's an awesome moment. I always love that moment, and you know that line is like, you know, when Cadence's line is also great. You know, I mean, again, it's showing that she genuinely cares and she's worried about what happens to Shining Armor, and that's just so cool. And that's just so cool. It really is. The good news is, though, with everything else in this episode, that things did work out. It's like, but yeah, I must admit, there were some great funny moments. There were some not great funny moments, like the thing with Spike and the bachelor party. I mean, that's just annoying, because that's annoying on so many levels. Because, you know, it just is. It's just wrong. It's like, oh dear. Again, I must admit, it's like, I don't know if we wanted to have the wedding right after this foreign invasion. All these terrible things has happened. There's holes in the roads. People are probably cowering somewhere, all sad and depressed after having somebody, you know, bust into their store or something and stuff, and cornering them in an alley and stuff like that. We might want to help those people and help them tell them it's going to be okay, and help them deal with post-traumatic stress syndrome and everything. But again, I think in general the ponies are stronger than that. Again, you see that one guy, it's like, okay, the changes are gone. I'm gonna go home now. Yeah, I think the ponies are genuinely stronger than that, but I know I would probably be like, oh my gosh, we just got invaded by a foreign army and they backed me into a corner. Oh no. Dang. Sorry, I hopefully will get over this cold soon. If any of you know an anti-cold spell or something out there, please cast it. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Something to look into, I guess. Oh dear. Twilight, please cast your anti-cold spell on me. Oh. Oh, well, anyway. So, yeah, I really like this episode a lot. Because, again, I liked the action. I mean, it was so much fun. I mean, again, there were some pretty, I must admit, I'm gonna make a. I was watching Aladdin, the Disney version, and the interesting thing about the way that Aladdin defeats Jafar at the very end is that it's very anti-Hollywood. It's anti the West. He doesn't. I mean, he tries to pick up a sword and defeat Jafar, and he's this magic, super crazy, powerful wizard person, and it's not gonna do squat against him, basically. And the way he ultimately defeats Jafar, though, is that he tricks her. He tricks him. He basically tricks him. And the great thing I was thinking about is that he becomes Jafar basically is totally obsessed with power, the same way Chrysalis probably is. And in the end, he becomes a slave to his own power. He wishes to become a genie, and he gets all these great powers. But those same powers also trap him in the genie lamp and everything. So I think that's incredibly ironic. And in a way, the same thing happens to Chrysalis. She's seeking the power of love, but in a very selfish, arrogant way, in a way. And she ultimately is defeated by that. And that's the thing that flings her off into the distance. And, so that's a great irony and great ironic ending. And that's really cool. I mean, all that was really cool. So that was just awesome. But yeah, again, the good news is that we do all prevail. We have the wedding. They get married. Everything's good. Everybody's happy, except for Chrysalis and the Changelings. But at least, again, they're not dead. Don't worry, no one dies in this episode. This is like the only time. I was like, in a way, I wish battles were like this for real. Nobody dies in this battle. Again, I must admit, in Rule 6, no one is permitted to die. If that were not true, those 2 royal guards, they'd be dead. Twilight would have been killed. Again, isn't that nice? Chrysalis could have killed Twilight. I mean, in a way, she should have. She should have killed Twilight, Cadence. There was no reason for her to keep them around. Again, why can't Cadence blow holes in walls and free herself and stuff? I think the short answer, again, I definitely want to do another video on that as well, but I think the short answer is that she's the Princess of Love, and those are very unloving things to do, to blow holes in walls and stuff like that. But again, that was a very clever way. Again, that was a very clever way to remedy the situation with the three bridesmaids. Instead of, they could have just, Twilight could have just broke out the Twilight Gatling gun and just like stunned them or something. But no, they did something very clever. They used, they defeated them brain over brawn or something. The same thing with Aladdin in a way that, it was brain over brawn, and that was cool. I mean, it was also really funny too. I mean, it was a great, you might think that would be kind of weird and odd in a way, but it works. It's very funny. It's enjoyable. And it's also non-violent, which is cool, which is again, My Little Pony is not trying to promote violence, and violence solves problems, even during a foreign invasion, even when we have a foreign army invade our country and our city and stuff. It's like we can defeat them without having to pick up a gun and shoot them and kill them and stuff, which is good. I mean, but they accomplish this in a way that obviously works in the My Little Pony world. It's really good. It's just great. It's great. Again, Kermit the Frog was right. That violence never solves anything, and I must admit, to a point, that's true. But of course, if someone's invading your country, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, again, I hope we do get to see the Royal Guard actually be strong, and again have Celestia be strong as well. I mean, we know Celestia was strong, but as I've said multiple times, that she had to lose during the story. She just had to, because if she defeated Chrysalis, that basically would have been the end of the story. I mean, sure, there would have been this massive changing army above, but I would imagine that Chrysalis would probably, if she got knocked to the ground, she'd be kind of like, oh, come get me, my changelings, and she probably would have, had to break the shield, have them pick her up, and then probably run away. But anyway, that was. So yeah, I mean, I have to admit that was a sad moment, but it was cool at the same time. I mean, and actually, in a way, was good because it shows that she's not invincible, that she's not God. I mean, a lot of people think Celestia is God, and I don't think that's true. It just isn't, because that's again, the idea of God is that God created the world and everything in it, and that's not possible because we know that Equestria and the world existed before they did. So that basically defeats that right there. I mean, yeah, they're very powerful, but they're not invincible, which in a way is good. I mean, it's bad because it introduces the whole thing of there's a possibility that they could fail, that we can't just simply call on Celestia to fix everything for us, that there's a possibility that she could lose too, which in a way is bad. But Yeah, it must have been. How come nobody tried to help when she's like fighting Chrysalis, and Chrysalis is clearly winning? Why didn't someone like try to attack Chrysalis? Why didn't like Twilight, shoot Cadence? I mean, shoot Cadence. My brain is no longer functioning. I think my brain never functions, to be honest. Why didn't Twilight shoot Chrysalis for like at the side? It's like, it's not a very honorable thing to do, but you know what? We don't care. War's not about playing fair. It's about winning. It's about killing the enemy before they do. But anyway, oh dear, that was a little off topic. Oh dear, that was a little inappropriate, I think. But anyway, yeah, I mean, poor. Okay, I'm starting to get repetitive now, but this is a really good episode, and it's, even though we do have a foreign invasion during this episode, it's still really fun and really good, and it's not in a cliche way. I mean, if you just ignore the fact that one of the first things that Celestia says after being released from the cocoon is, okay, you've got a wedding to plan. If you accept that, everything after that is okay, but still. That was cool. I mean, it was cool, and it just was. It had two really great songs in it, and everybody. I was thinking that in Changing Invasion might have been a lot more work than it looked at. It might have not been so bad because they're generally doing the same thing, so it might have been okay. But still, this could have easily been an episode that a lot of work and a lot of hard time and a lot of hard work and stuff went into. So yeah. So again. Thank you to DHX and Hasbro and everybody for working so hard and making this show possible. Yeah, this episode means a lot to me because again, this is where my character Blue Star came around. I mean, this is like I would have wanted to have stood and fought and defended Equestria and the main six and all that stuff. Even though, unfortunately, yes, that I would have been tied up and I'm so sorry, Twilight, I failed you. Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, but again, the good news is that even though violence did not prevail, love overcame this thing that we didn't think that we could possibly overcome. And that's really, I think, the main lesson here is that love conquers all things, and that love can get you through things that you think that you can't win. You think that love will get you through situations and things that you think that you can't win otherwise. I mean, without the power of love, Canterlot would have been lost, but because of the love between Cadence and Shining Armor, they were able to save Equestria, and that's awesome. That's just awesome. And that lesson seems silly and cliche, but you know what? It is true that having someone be there. I mean, you can hear this from up-teen different people saying, from like race car drivers to soldiers to artists to famous people that the source of their strength is their spouse, their wife, their husband, that having them love them helps them get through things that they normally wouldn't have been able to get through, and that's cool and that's awesome. And that's what this show is trying to teach. I mean, the lesson from Celestia is a little depressing that, you got to trust your instincts. I mean, you have to basically just trust things. But true, but that's a good lesson too. I mean, that's a good lesson too, because you know what? And sadly, in our post 9/11 world, where if you think there's something amiss, you should say something about it, is unfortunately true and a good lesson that to learn. But getting beyond that, it's true that if something doesn't feel right, if you look at it and instinct is a difficult thing because it's not absolute, but it's undeniably that instincts can somehow tell us things about ourselves in situations that we wouldn't have known otherwise. We can't explain why it works, it just does sometimes. It's not absolute, but people wonder like like animals can like sense an earthquake or a tidal wave or something coming. And I think the simpler answer is maybe they just simply trust their instincts a lot more, or they just simply listen to their instincts so much closer than we do. That we've filled our heads with so much noise, and we've put down all our emotions and stuff that we just don't listen to our instincts. And maybe the simple fact is that they listen to their instincts more than we do. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, this episode means a lot to me. This is definitely the confirmation episode. It might have been for me. I mean, every Brony has like a confirmation episode where basically I am a Brony forever, and this is definitely mine. I mean, I must admit, I first watched My Little Pony. I watched My Little Pony And basically, I gorged myself on My Little Pony. I remember the first night I watched it on Netflix. I watched 7 episodes during one night. So I watched seasons 1 and 2 within perhaps the course of a month. But so these episodes were all relatively close together to me. But so. But yeah, so the confirmation episode might have been, somewhere between seasons 1 and 2, but this was absolutely the last confirmation. Definitely the confirmation. If it wasn't at this point, it's at this point. Because again, this is where I found I would have wanted to have been part of this battle. I would have wanted to have stand and fight for Equestria, its values, and everything that it stands for. These characters, these people, what they believe in, what they stand for, are worth fighting and defending because these values are so desperately needed in our world. The good news is that they do exist in our world, and terrible things like the tornado and the Boston bombing, people came together, people were there for each other. I think the problem is that we don't do that enough. We're relying too much on things like the government, and we're still, and some people are still selfish and arrogant, and I don't want to make generalizations like that because I don't know how true they are, but I do feel that in general, our cultures, our worlds, across the board, we need to be basically more like these characters. We need to be more loving, and we need to be driven by love, community, and friendship. We simply need to be there for each other and be less about us and more about each individual, and more about the community and every people, and to be there for people when they need us. Which is why what happened with Theory Brony was incredibly awesome, because the Brony community was there. The Brony community was there for him and was able to get him out of a very difficult situation, and that was cool. You might think I've lost my mind saying I would have wanted to have been part of this battle, that I would have wanted to have protected Equestria. If Equestria was a real place, I probably would have wanted to defend it. Again, in this, losing in My Little Pony, getting killed in My Little Pony just means getting tied up, so I have a feeling that's part of it, to be honest. If you actually got shot and killed, if there was a possibility of getting shot and killed, I might rethink that a little bit. But, my point is that these values and everything that the show has, and this episode have itself, of love, and how powerful love is, and for being there for people and stuff, is still, these are things worth fighting and defending. And this was, I think, the point where I realized that I would, Celestia walked through that door and said, I need your help defending Equestria, I would probably do it. Although I'd probably be pretty surprised if Celestia walked through that door. That'd be scary. Because these values, these things are worth fighting for. I know I've said that like 3 times, but I genuinely believe that's true. And we just simply, we need these values so desperately and so badly. And that's probably when I realized that I wanted to be defender of Equestria and all that stuff. So that's probably the main reason why this episode means a lot to me. Other than, that's exactly why. Because I know I wanted to be a part of this battle and this fight and protect Equestria and its values and everything, because that's just so they were worth fighting and defending for. So I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop now, because I've definitely run a lot longer than I normally do, but I have a lot to say about this episode. Maybe I might make a separate video again about just my reaction to this episode. It's just so cool. There's so much in this episode. It's very good. It's very well done. It's very entertaining. And it accomplishes everything it sets out to do. And as always, does it in a lighthearted... Dang it, sorry. It does it in a very lighthearted, fun way. And even though we have a foreign invasion in the middle of this episode, that everything works out good. And it's not simply because the writers say they do. With the rules and everything of Equestria, the changelings are defeated through the awesome power of love and community. And, well, actually, no, in this case, it's just love. It's just love in this case. But still, way to go, Cadence in shining armor. And, wow, that's cool. I just like this episode a lot. It means a lot to me. I've definitely gone on enough about this. I'm rambling on. I'm sorry. Again, it's like, my gosh. I might be able to go on for more, but no, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. So I hope you liked this commentary/reaction video, and I hope, I guess if you've made it through this long, you must have liked it. Otherwise, you would stop listening to me. But anyway, thank you for watching and listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, so This is Blue Star. Stay strong and pony on. Blue Star out.